Welcome to episode 52 of Crosstown Cardboard with myself, Carmine at Carmine's Cards, the sports reporter down here in South Carolina, just getting back from my first Clemson game, which was awesome. And Craig at New York City Sports Cards, as you might have guessed, he's in New York City. He's a math teacher at a nearby high school and also the proud CEO and president of Card Club, which is starting back up here for the new school year. And episode 52 is the Ray Lewis episode, which, obviously one of the best NFL players of all time. And the electric introduction that he had going into that Baltimore Ravens stadium and just wigging out and getting everyone hyped up because the NFL is back and we're all excited about it. Some people may be less excited with the prospecting plays they're making, but as far as fantasy football teams, Sunday activities, we're all hyped up for it. And we're calling episode 52 Hobby Entanglements, which Ray Lewis was in one of those himself with the law, but we won't get too far into that. But Craig, you were involved in a couple hobby entanglements this week with a possible scam situation, a card that you tried to get of one of our favorite Knicks, Jalen Brunson, that got you in a bit of an entanglement. So can you please, as the teacher, define entanglement for us before we get into them?
So this is appropriate, being back at school. First full week of school coming up, recording this on Sunday. Feels good to be in the routine, and it's funny that I was involved in these hobby entanglements because, as we had spoken about, I was worried going back to school, coaching picks up, teaching picks up. Am I going to have time for cars? I'll probably have to take a step back. Yet here we are. Talking about this today. So Oxford Learner's Dictionary, real simple, defines entanglement as a difficult or complicated relationship with another person. Definitely some complicated situations I got myself involved in trying to buy cards online. Just trying to pick up some new cards, but we will get into that. It's good to see you out in the field. Clemson football, you're out there. Proud of you. So thank you for continuing to do this as well every week.
Thanks, bro. I'm excited to get into it. And so why don't you start us off with whichever direction you want to go down first, the scamming part or the difficult negotiation to try to pick up the Jalen Brunson? Because, we pick these topics because we try to be relatable every week to people and express viewpoints or opinions or just present what we've been through in situations, because so many people have been through the same thing. Or if you haven't, it might give you a bit of a roadmap to maybe navigate it for yourself. Like we were talking before and we're like, well, we could talk about the card porn stuff and that kind of thing. But, me and you, and especially you, try to keep us on the track of a no drama zone, straight hobby, hobby talk, we keep a positive perspective, glass half full, at the same time not ignoring some of the negative aspects. But there's a bunch of different places you can find the card porn behind the scenes of what happened with the, speaking of scamming and entanglements. And just to refer you to a great spot, the Sports Card Nonsense podcast had Darren Ravel himself on there, who broke a lot of this news about the card porn guy and, the fake jersey and the wrapping that was fake and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to find that, that's where I would recommend going. But, for us to present our opinions, I think, that wouldn't be us. That wouldn't be on brand with what we're trying to do. So, and I don't know if you wanted to weigh in on that before your personal entanglements.
Nope. You nailed it. Just not something we're going to talk about on here. Simple as that. We're going to keep it about collecting, keep it about our hobby journey. And I think what is also relatable about these entanglements I'm getting myself in, it's all about trying to pick up cards that I really enjoy and a card I was looking for. So it's not just about the stories, but the cards themselves. We're keeping it about cardboard on here. So should I just get into it?
Yes, sir. Go for it.
Okay. We talked about on our national wish list. One of my cards was a Jalen Brunson first-year Prism on the Knicks. His first Knicks Prism card, a gold out of 10, a black 1 of 1. Didn't find one. Not too surprising. The black 1 of 1 Prisms are pretty desirable and, of course, tough to pull. So then our good friend Joe, Cards by Joe, sends me out of nowhere, no context at all. Not quite the Prism, but the first-year Jalen Brunson So 2022-23 select. The Black Prism die cut 101. Great photography. He's doing his signature as he's coming up the court, like mean mugging.
Yeah,
So
he's got the hand over the mouth. I don't what exactly is he doing in that pose
I'm
when
not sure. Yeah, in that time it's a little below, but he's still doing his signature, whatever. I don't even know what it is, but
yeah, but it's
it's his
cool.
move.
It's cool.
So it's the Black Prism 101 die cut doing that great card in a PSA 9. And Joe sent it to me, and he saw it on a Discord. So he put me in touch with this person from the Discord. So to paint a picture and to try not to make this drag on for too long, this was a college student, an international student. I know it was an international student because when we started talking, he could only pay PayPal friends and family, or maybe Zelle, whatever it was, couldn't do goods and services. So the price tag on it, according to the Discord, was $500. So reached out, we got in touch a little bit, and first time making a deal, not giving goods and services as an offer. Obviously, I'm going to be a little bit wary. I want to be protected, right? So I said, you know what? I'll secure this deal. I think I offered 450, and he said, I'm firm at 500. I said, fine, it's a 101 Prism. I get it. I offered to pay. I'm like, you know what? I'll agree to the 500, but I want to pay 100 now as a down payment since it is friends and family. And when you could coin the picture for me, I will pay the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Reasonable?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
do you think?
I think to send $100 down payment is already extending the olive branch to the other person. I think that's more than enough.
I wanted the card. I wanted to secure the deal. But if I'm paying in an option that I can't file a claim on, then I want to be sure. You know, coin the picture for me. $500 is not like chump change. You know, it's money we work hard for. So all of a sudden, he starts telling me that there's someone else from Discord who's interested. So I said, you know what? I'll pay $250 down payment, which is super generous, and then I'll pay the rest when you coin it. So I kept working my way up to the point I wanted this card. So I said, fine, you know what? $500, I'll take it.
Without you, and you're saying $500, you don't have to coin the card. You'll just pay it.
Because I knew through Joe, I saw enough vouchers that he had sent me. He's no BS.
Okay.
He's in the card game. He's in the Discord. But then he starts telling me, oh, like he can't sell it to me yet because there was someone in the Discord that he was still talking to and was interested. I'm like, but I don't understand. You know, the payment secures the deal. This is me. How is this any different than when I saw your post on Discord and I just said sold for 500? How is that any different than what's happening right here? So there was a lot of miscommunication. And then he said, you know what? The other guy is willing to pay 520. I said, if you're asking the other guy first, then why didn't he just buy it at 500? So what I said to him was, you're not artificially putting me in a bidding war for this card. You do you. I'm over it. And I wanted the card. I really did. But I think at this point, had I acquired it, I would always have it attached to this story and it would leave kind of a bad taste in my mouth. So ultimately, wasn't meant to be. Very interesting. Very interesting that I was ready to pay full price asking for a card, and the seller wouldn't allow me to.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
How was that? Did I explain that well?
Yeah, you explained it well because you sent me the video and or the video of you scrolling through the messages, and you summarized it really well. And you actually, were very nice and favorable to this college student who, seemed like you could be way more frustrated than you turned out being, because like for you to eventually pay full price and then him to say, oh, wait a minute, I got a guy now who now wants to pay 520. But I paid the asking price you wanted. That's bad hobby etiquette by him for sure. I mean, you did everything. You came up all the way to 500 and, that's what he was wanting for the card. And then all of a sudden, oh, now we got what is this, like PWCC extended bidding all of a sudden? I don't.
Yeah. Oh, I should have dropped that line. I said, buddy, you're not PWCC. There's no. Yeah. That's good. So wasn't meant to be. I did like the card. So I guess if anyone else sees a Jalen Brunson Prism Black 101 out there, let me know.
Yeah, but the price is now $530 because
That's the
Every
baseline.
time
Yeah.
somebody is like, "Oh, somebody's willing to pay 520." Well, now the price is 530 because of course now we gotta. Yeah, that's a
But it,
strange. That's a strange one.
ultimately, it did work out for me. Glass half full. There's always a silver lining here. Is that I had transferred money over to get ready to pay for it. I got as that far that I transferred the cash over from the source that I
Uh
needed it from to then
oh.
pay for it. And then when it fell through Friday, after my first week back at school, I said, you know what? I got an hour till the local card shop. Alex's MVP. I got an hour
Yeah.
till that opens. I got a little extra cash. Took $200 out. Had a little shopping spree, and it's not the first time I had done that. And I kind of really love, assuming I get home in time from coaching, making this little Friday walk to the local card shop and just picking up a random assortment of stuff. A nice little routine to end the week.
So you're not only getting into a teaching school coaching routine, you're getting into a treat yourself card shop routine to end the week.
I'm a 10 to 15-minute walk from Alex's MVP. I know them really well. One of the owners is a retired teacher, retired DOE teacher, principal like myself, owns a card shop. Doesn't sound too bad, let me tell you that.
Yeah, any added reason to go to the card store. I mean, that sounds great. So this money is now there's my dad always says there's found money. Like if you you get a birthday gift, that's found money, or you make money at the casino, that's found money because you didn't have it before. But yours is kind of found money because you already planned on spending it. So now it's like it doesn't exist anymore. So I know you picked up some of the cards there. So what are some of your favorites because you picked up like what, 15 cards over there?
No, I got about 7 or 8 cards here, but it was responsible found money because I didn't take the whole 500. I took $200. I said, I'm going to have some fun. It was amazing. When was the last time you prepped a grading order for yourself? It wasn't that long ago, right?
My buddy Jack B. Nimble Cards, prepped this grading order that I'm showing on YouTube with the Patrick Ewing 03 Ultimate Collection Auto, the Dwayne Wade Rookie Jambalaya, which is pretty cool.
Sweet.
That came back a PSA 8. The Ewing came back a PSA 9, which I was happy about. And then the Joe Burrow Select Premier Level Rookie Tie-Dye, numbered out of 25. That came back a PSA 8. So that's kind of a fun football play. But that was, I don't know, 3 months ago or so. I was hoping to get that back before National. I paid for the speedier service, but ended up coming back right after the National, which was okay because now I got more inventory to play with once I get off my lazy butt and get enough time from work to run a story sale and hit the gas pedal on the hobby again. But I'd say it's been a few months.
That's a future title. Let's hit the gas pedal on the hobby. Put that in the tickler file. You are not lazy. You are not lazy. You're just working extra hard. But I'm
in hobby neutral right now.
I like that. And you did reference having more inventory in the future. And I want to touch upon that before I talk about my most recent Friday assortment of pickups. Is that probably not going to be able to attend or set up at a show for a while. But would you safe to say both you and I, whether together or separate, will set up at a show in the future?
Oh yeah.
Right. Of course. I love doing that.
Now we got this Atlanta plan. I'm pretty serious about that because it's only 2.5 hours drive from me. And we just talked to Wiz _ the THA _ collector on our last episode. If you haven't checked that out, definitely listen to that because this guy was dropping life knowledge, let alone card knowledge about being full-time in the hobby, and really hyped us up to just be motivated to follow your passion. So if you haven't checked that out, but I'm serious about going to Culture Collision.
I have an idea. And it kind of everything I'm saying here ties together. What if you and I together set up at Culture Collision?
We probably could.
I think that would be a great day.
Well, that was kind of my plan of going. I kind of wanted to set up because I think that would be fun. But should we split a table or something? I have my showcase that I could.
I think we should. We've never done that. That's one of the missing pieces of this partnership. That'll be a great time.
Nice.
So,
Okay. It's in the
well, my
works.
thought was whenever I do set up in the future, maybe that's the next time I want to have inventory ready. So I should prep a grading order, just like the $20 grading order.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked up random stuff like this 1961 Topps New York Yankees card. Because if you could look closely, it's the Yankees team picture, and there's a little piece of like the other card. So
Nice.
it was misprinted. It was printed poorly, I should say. Like a zero centering. So I'm gonna put this in. I think that would be a cool PSA 1.
Nice.
What else did I get from the card shop? A Jawan Howard atomic refractor.
Oh, that seems like
Look
an
at that.
eBay card.
I'm gonna send it in for grading. Gonna send in the Yankees card for grading. What else is cool here? Hoyt Wilhelm, flawless, triple, game worn, with a little pinstripe out of 10.
Okay.
Just a
And
cool one.
you're gonna grade that too, or no?
This one I will not. Another one I'm
Okay.
gonna grade.
I was gonna
Another
say.
one I'll grade is Bukayo Saka, who is a winger for Arsenal. Gold from 2022-23 Tops out of 50. Love gold.
And by the way, Craig, that 1961 Yankees team, 109 wins, and they won the World Series in 5 games over the Cincinnati Reds.
Cool card, right? I just thought
Yeah,
it
it's
looked
cool.
cool.
It's cool.
And then the one you're gonna like the most. First year
Uh-oh.
flawless. First year flawless. 2012, 2013. Brooke Lopez. On card autograph.
Nice.
Double
Now,
patch out of 15.
that's awesome because that matches your Darren Williams, same year, same team.
So I sold both.
Oh, okay.
The Deron Williams went to a big Nets collector. I knew the flawless out of gold was going to move. The reason I picked up the Brooke Lopez, I was talking to someone on the same person. I'm sorry. The same person that bought the Deron Williams said, I'm looking for the Brooke Lopez. So I said, you know what? My card shop has one. I got you. So I bought it. And he said, oh, it's not the gold. It's not the gold out of 10. And then he passed. So here I am with this
Oh,
Brooke Lopez, but I was able to move it on eBay for the right price. And we keep
that's
it
great.
moving. We keep it
That's
moving. My
great.
hope is to grade a lot of this other stuff. By the time we do set up, I'll have a bunch of slabs, and these are all generally things that I like. So my table will be a representation of me.
That's awesome. And now this person who liked the Nets cards, was their Instagram by chance nothing but Nets?
It wasn't, but if no one's using, why is that a real account?
No, but I just came up with it, and I'm
Okay.
there is one nothing but Nets sports cards. So they already got it, but they don't care about the Nets. So that doesn't, their play on words doesn't
So they're
oh
not a
no,
net.
there is one nothing but Nets, but it's Nets news instead
Okay.
of cards. But smart
Nothing.
people out there.
Yeah. So any Nets fans, if you want nothing but Nets, would be a great card page. Yeah.
That's great. Look at
So
you
that was it.
still finding little ways to be
Great.
active though.
I bought a couple packs. I am not a breaker at all, but I can go in and buy 2 packs for $10, $12 a piece and get
Yeah.
my fix. That's enough for me.
What packs? I'm curious because I haven't bought a
Great
pack in
question.
a long time. And I go into card stores and not very often, but when I am in there, I'm blown away by how expensive most of the packs are. And I'm curious what type of packs you buy or how you keep that cost low, because you could take a major risk with some of these packs, boxes, in the hundreds, in the thousands of dollars, $40, $30 a pack, and you get like $2 worth of cards. So what style do you go for, or what brands?
Valid question. I'm talking I probably rip a handful of packs a month, like 5 packs of cards. And I've said before, a big reason I don't love the direction of product or the hobby is I just don't really like the direction of the product. I today's products are not fun for me to rip personally. Growing up in like the mid 2000s, I miss just like the autograph patch cards, dual autograph type stuff, memorabilia cards that were always game used, and you could have like cool patches. Some memorabilia would have like shorts. I remember a basketball set that had a game used like headband, stuff like
Oh,
that.
that's cool. That's cool.
Today's products just don't entice me as much. When I was in Fishkill for a wedding a couple weekends ago, we went to a Walmart. They had blasters on sale, and it was like 2021 select basketball on sale for $20. I'm like, even on sale, I don't want this. There's nothing here that's like exciting to me. I
Right.
did get a blaster of optic, which I opened, which is like all right, but still, even for the $20 blaster, you're never gonna get your value out of it. There's nothing exciting to chase.
Right.
I don't know. That's how I felt. But I do like Stadium Club soccer because the photography is amazing. You get colored parallel cards, there's autographs, $10, $12 a pack. So that's a fun one for me. I like the chrome soccer products. Photography's good, very colorful. So yeah, that's where I stand on that.
Okay. Nice. That's good to know because I feel like a lot of us, in the hobby may not rip as often. And so, like, having a little background info or a roadmap of like what somebody else goes for or doesn't go for might be helpful in that way, like you just explained. So, we talked about, Craig, your Jalen Brunson situation, your local card shop experience on Friday with your quote unquote found money, even though it was responsible found money because you still have $300 left. Are you, by the way, are you going to spend that 300 or where is that going? Is that like burning a hole in your pocket or?
I mean, at this point, it just goes into like life expenses.
Oh, okay. Wow. Look
Yeah.
at you. Very mature. Okay.
Well, it just gets into the mix. It's not like, yeah, yeah. It's all part of the same. It's all part of the same anyway. When you really think about it,
Yeah.
money coming
Okay.
in, money
So,
going out.
right, right. You got to spend money to make money too. I mean, let's get real here. So, let's talk about the situation where you got scammed because I've been here before. And by the way, I 100% agree with what you said about the Jalen Brunson. If a deal gets too hairy or it gets into a hobby entanglement, like the name of our episode, then all of a sudden, even if you guys do agree on a price, the card is like, do I even want this? It took so much. It took a headache to get here. It was a hassle. We haggled, you know, and not in like a fun way. Like there's fun arguments and then there's arguments where or discussions about the card where it's like, you know, it's really soured my taste on it. So I agree with you 100% on the Jalen Brunson, but
Yep.
you also got scammed. So what happened with that?
But now that we talk it out, it was a week of hobby entanglements,
It
but
was.
I've maneuvered my way through somehow. I don't know. So it's Jeremy underscore sport cards. So I guess just memo out there. If Jeremy underscore sport cards ever messages you, it's a scam. Hi, I'm looking to get rid of some of my sports cards. Is there anything you are looking for? Well, now that I read it back, that's like that's scammer talk right there. It sounds like
Yeah.
a NPC. It sounds like an NPC. It really
What's
does.
that?
Uh non player character, I think it is.
Oh,
Did I
okay.
get that right? What one of
Okay.
my students called me an NPC once, and I guess it was an insult.
I was like, all right, that seems like some youthful talk. But yeah,
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many messages I've just swiped and deleted that have said that without even looking at it.
Yeah. So I asked if he had soccer. He showed me a couple. The price was definitely too good to be true. But the
Hmm.
page looked like it had a bunch of cards on it. There were captions on the cards, a lot of low end stuff, and then some random soccer. And I said, I'm going to pay goods and services since that's our first deal. Is that cool? Question mark. And he said, that's cool. Give me a full address. And then he gave me his PayPal name. Goods and services. Nothing to worry about, right? Either way, I'll get my money
Right.
back out of this. And it was $85. So not the biggest. I'll survive. The inconvenience kind of sucks, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I've been there before. The whole process of sending the screenshots to PayPal or Venmo, and then you have to wait 2-3 weeks. You got to type out exactly what happened. Yeah, it's a headache, definitely.
So they gave me a PayPal address. Naturally me 8724 at gmail.com. I'm not going to judge someone's PayPal name. So they said, send me a screenshot of your payment just in case it might take longer to confirm. Thanks. And once again, I asked for them to coin a picture. And for some reason, I don't know why, once I gave them my address, eventually I just paid even without the coined pictures. I'm like, whatever, it's goods and services anyway.
Yeah.
So I sent the payment to, keep in mind, Jeremy's sport cards. And the payment went to someone by the name of Meika, Meika McClendon.
Okay.
So I sent a screenshot of the payment and he says, sorry, sir, I'm just getting home. Had a long day and I'm also just confirming from Meika McClendon. Her PayPal seems to be under review, so there's no way of knowing if it got in or not. Good thing
Oh,
you sent
geez.
good thing you sent the $85 goods and via via goods and services. You can easily request a chargeback. It'll definitely reflect on your account. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Blocked.
Oh, they blocked you?
Blocked. So I sent that to that PayPal address. And I sent them a message. Please cancel this transaction and refund my money, yada, yada, yada. They write back. First off, I didn't scam anything. I never spoke to you or anybody else for that matter. I am at home minding my own damn business, and you have no clue what you're talking about. Maybe you should ask questions before accusing people of things. I will gladly
Oh,
send you your money back since it's been sitting in my PayPal and I had no clue it was even there until I got an email. You never spoke with me, so I don't know who you talked to or what is going on. Have a great day.
okay.
So I just said, well, there's someone out there using your PayPal account trying to scam people. If you would refund my money, that would be appreciated.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Did you get your money back?
Not yet. She didn't send it
Oh,
to me yet. And if she doesn't, I'm going to have to obviously file a claim, but
it doesn't seem like she's going to send it.
something doesn't add up.
Well, what doesn't add up, you know what I least like about these scams is the mental manipulation to where they make you think that you're the bad guy, even though clearly these two were in cahoots. I mean, listen, it's totally possible, very small percent chance possible, that what she's saying is true. She has no idea about this guy. He just sent her a random. How is he going to get that weirdo email? You know, I mean, I love the what is it? Naturally me. I love that like message, but you
Yeah.
know, like he's not just going to come up with naturally me and the four numbers that you mentioned and then have it be a coincidence. You know, like they're clearly in cahoots. They're trying to make you think like you're crazy. Like, oh, I should have checked with so and so, but that was the PayPal that the person told you to send it to, so you did.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, the PayPal process is going to play itself out. You'll get your money back because they didn't send anything, so it'll work out. It'll just be a little bit of a headache,
That's
in
it.
that situation too.
That's it right there. The inconvenience sucks. We got more important things to worry about. I just like to buy cards. That's all. I
Yeah,
just like to buy cards. It's just, but I should have done better. I should have done better. But
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't. I mean, you're the only thing that concerns me about your process with the sending the money or the willingness to send the money without the coined photo in two of these instances, which for the most part works out. I mean, like most people in the hobby are trustworthy and it works out. And plus, you were paying goods and services on both counts.
no,
Like
not the Brunson.
even though the Brunson guy denied you of the full payment.
That would
So,
not have been goods and services.
oh no, it wouldn't have.
No,
And you were
I
still
need.
willing to do it without a coined photo?
I got to get back on my game.
Wow.
I got to take a step back for a second here and get back to our principles.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the thirst is this are you falling into thirst traps? Is that what it is for for these cards?
I guess so. I guess so.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
well let me
Wow.
tell you, I didn't bring this up, Craig, but your entanglements actually reminded me of a situation I was in.
Let's hear it.
And I'm interested to hear what you thought because I don't feel 100% great about it. So I was going to buy, or I actually did purchase this really cool set of 1984 star cards, the complete set. I think it's 18 cards of Larry Bird. And I think I mentioned this in one of our podcasts like a few months ago. So it was an awesome set, like the 84 star. Some people debate that it's Jordan's rookie. And, they only released the team sets in the boxes and that kind of thing. So it wasn't pack pulled. So it's got that big debate, as a lot of people know. But I was like, I got a chance to get the entire 84 star set, the iconic set of my favorite guy, green border, 18 different images of Larry Bird from that year. So I'm like, awesome. So the guy wanted 125. So I paid him 125 bucks. He had coined the photo beforehand, and it was goods and services, paid, all set. It was going to Medford, Oregon, where I lived before moving here to South Carolina. So it was like a couple weeks, didn't get anything. I mean, I got like, he sent me the tracking number. I tracked it. But, I'm in the process of packing and moving. So I'm like, not really too concerned about this $125 Larry Bird order. So I didn't get it when I was in Oregon. So I'm like, okay, I set up my forwarding mail address. Maybe I'll get it by the time when I get here to South Carolina. So I look on USPS website and it says awaiting delivery scan, and it has an alert on it. So I call the United States Postal Service in Medford, and they said, well, sir, this really happens very rarely. I mean, I rarely have a problem with the post office. Like, I've never had this happen before in the hundreds of transactions I've, sent and received. And he said, yeah, something happened with our intake system where it just didn't scan the card into our system. So we really have no idea where these cards are. We have no idea where your package is because it didn't accurately scan. Our system must have messed up. So there's no way of tracking this now because the scanner screwed up. And he's like, no person has touched this. Like, it's not out with one of our delivery people. It's not, So I was like, okay, so what do you recommend I do? He's like, well, open a claim or try to talk to the seller about it and see if they'll refund you because, like, we can't do anything about it. We can't find your package.
This is PayPal?
This is the Postal Service that I'm talking
No,
to.
but how did you pay?
I paid PayPal, goods and services. Okay. So I opened a claim. Well, I talked to this guy and he's like, well, let's go through PayPal. So I opened a claim with PayPal and I explained to them what happened, that it wasn't any fault of the seller because he sent it, to my knowledge. I mean, and the tracking info indicates it got to somewhere in Medford and then the scanner just busted or didn't work right and didn't scan in the package. So I was explaining to PayPal, this didn't scan in. It wasn't the fault of PayPal, and or it wasn't the fault of the seller. So what do we do in this situation is what I'm telling PayPal. And they didn't really respond. They just pretty much issued me a refund. And the seller is saying, he's talking to PayPal. He'll be the one they take the money from. They took it from his account. That's not right. And I was thinking in my head, well, it's not your fault. It's not my fault. Let's split it. Like I'll just refund me half because I feel bad. Because if I was in his situation and I sent somebody cards for $125, it wasn't my fault that they got lost by the USPS scanning. Then I would think it would be fair for us both to eat it. Eat half the cost. I was prepared to do that. So he messaged me on Facebook because we're talking through the whole process. He said, on something like this, I think we should both eat it. Eat half the cost, split it. And I'm like, yeah. So here's the message that I didn't like right after he said that, because I was agreeing with him at this point. He said, send half the money back or I'll have to fight it with your own words. It's the right thing to do, and it's what I would have done. So I said, well, that's a little bit threatening, like don't threaten me like you're gonna tell me send half back or else he's gonna use my own words against me. Because I hadn't responded to his first message, which said on something like this, I think we should both eat it, which I was prepared to do. So I said, I haven't gotten any refund yet, but I will keep you posted because I'm not going to refund him half before getting my refund from PayPal. So he goes, like a day later, he says, word of advice. If this goes all the way till the end, you're going to lose. I'm giving you the opportunity to at least get half your money back. If this was going to go in your favor, it would have already gotten a refund for you. I've been using PayPal since they started and know how they operate. Up to you. Now I'm getting a little frustrated because this guy's acting like he's doing me a favor by me getting half my money back. When in reality, I know that PayPal is going to rule in favor of me and give me the full refund. So I'm the one doing him a favor by paying him back half. Because if this process plays out, he's not going to get anything. You know what I mean? So I'm not liking his line of communication where he's, acting like if I don't pay him half before I get the refund, I'm the bad guy and I'm not going to get my money back. So I did. Now I'm not liking this. Okay.
So the question is about PayPal, and this is kind of getting on a tangent here, but I'm curious myself. So
Yeah.
when I'm going to win my claim, does PayPal take the money from them, or does PayPal
Yes.
just eat the cost?
No, no, no. They take the money from the account associated with the seller.
So what's the point? They probably okay. So you got to assume scammers transfer all the money over, and then by the time they, I don't know, close the account
Yeah.
or something.
I don't know. We're definitely
Scammers,
not in the
scammers world.
scamming
Listen, it's
area,
it
so we
definitely
don't.
is now.
I don't know the ins and outs. Maybe they like close their bank account and then try to get away with the money. I don't know
I'm
exactly
sure.
what happens.
I'm sure it sucks, bro. We're just trying to buy cards, and then
Yeah. So
people
so
out there.
this is so let me this situation continues. So I said, so I'm still remaining calm and trying to do the right thing. So I said, I'll give you half after I get the refund. Because again, I'm not giving him half before I figure out how PayPal is going to rule on this. I'm assuming they're going to rule in favor of the buyer because I didn't get the product that the seller sent to me. So,
Yeah,
you know,
simple.
even though he didn't do anything wrong, basically when you break it down, the seller sent something to the buyer didn't get it. It's the seller's responsibility, even though it wasn't their fault, to refund the buyer. So I was very confident I was going to come out unscathed. So I said, I'll give you half after I get the refund. It says it's been processed. So then I said, so I'd be a little nicer to me about it since I could easily take all the refund. So I want to just remind this guy, hit the brake, not the gas pedal, which is what I'll do in the future for my hobby. Hit the brake because you're coming off a little aggressive when I'm the one who, if I'm nice, will give you half, which I thought was the right thing to do. But he's acting like, I'm the bad guy.
You're
He
getting
goes,
fired up.
"Oh yeah, I'm juiced because the hobby etiquette and the hobby landscape is so key. And me and you, our first deal, you called me up and made sure I was legit and we talked through a deal and that was very respectful from both sides, even, fair, and it kicked off a great friendship. So that's like the ceiling of what's possible in the hobby is our first interaction, our first deal. This and the situations like we've been talking about with the hobby entanglements are the basement of what's possible in the hobby. So we got the ceiling, which is how this podcast was first created, and the basement, which is now what we're talking about on episode 52. And most things are in between or close to the ceiling, like second floor, third floor, they're right up there. But
Second floor. Listen, I'm in New York City here. We're talking like
I'm
57.
sorry. I'm sorry. They're in the
57.
studio on the fifth floor
No,
of.
we're on the third floor. Our building doesn't have that, but anyway, as we were.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm getting fired up because this is not the way the hobby should operate. And but so he messages me, keep it. It's so wrong. They ruled in your favor. Then he goes, thanks for effing me over. And and I'm like, I wasn't gonna F you. And the reason I'm not cursing is because I don't know if any kids are listening to this. We don't list ourselves as explicit. In our daily lives, we curse up a storm once in a while. No, just kidding. But so he goes, thanks for effing me over. I wrote back, if you were nicer, I would have split it with you. But the immature way you handled it is unacceptable. And then he went into some racial thing, which I was like, okay, this has nothing to do with racial thing. So he starts calling me a colonizer. He goes, white colonizers have been screwing my people over for years. F you, enjoy your sorry ass life. And I'm like, I said, wow, that's quite the reaction. Like I said, if you had been nicer and more professional when this first happened, I gladly would have split this with you. But after these wild comments, I will gladly keep the full refund. So I kept the full refund, but that wasn't my plan going into it. Like I was totally going to split it with him because I thought that was the right thing to do. He didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. I'll split the cost with you because I would have wanted somebody to do that also if I was the seller and I sent you cards. And after the way he dealt with it, trying to make me feel bad, similar to your hobby entanglement of like, I'm the bad guy and you better do this or else with like threats of how I need to behave rather than dealing with it like mature adults, then now I'm going to keep the full refund. So you shot yourself in the foot for being a bad person as far as how you were going to deal with it. So hopefully that taught him a lesson, because, we try to be nice guys, and I feel like we're both very fair and we deal with people in a respectful way. But if you disrespect one of us, you're not going to get the same level of respect that you would have before that. I mean, that totally changes the playing field. So
Simple
I
respect.
wasn't thinking of talking about that on this episode, but once you mentioned your hobby, entanglements, I feel like to bring that up, because the hobby is such a great space overall, and these moments need to be brought to light as far as, at least how we've dealt with them. I'm not saying how we've dealt with them is always the right way, but to just add more ammo to the tool belt of whoever might be out there going through a similar thing.
More lessons, and I always say that the hobby storylines write themselves. Somehow these things just happen. But on a more positive note, my buddy Adam Schraman is parked right outside my apartment right now, dropping off a card. That is the good customer service we like. So I don't want to keep him waiting for too long. But also on a positive note, quick mail day from Jeremy Cooper, aka Coopy Cards.
Yes, he changed his name. He was Skull
did.
Cards. He put out an announcement.
A PC card. It's amazing. A $25 card that just becomes in your personal collection. Panini 1-in-1, which is a nice set. On card autograph, Bernard King.
Nice.
Nick's Uni. So
that's a positive way to end right there. Good storytelling today. Great storytelling today. We tried to keep it about the cards. Till next time.
And you know what's funny? I got this card right behind me, which I traded this Kevin Garnett, Dennis Rodman from Jeremy Cooper. So
look at
there
that.
You go. Now Coopy Cards.
Full circle. Did he send you the DM letting you know that? Yes, you got the DM. Nice.
He did. We're in the in crowd for the temple guy.
All right. Let me go do this drop off.
Okay, this is not going to be an entanglement, but thank you all for listening. Please like, subscribe, comment, rate, review, podcast, YouTube platforms, and we'll see you for episode 53 next week.
Peace.